Hello. Yes, I'm again in my working shed. I have to sew something here because I have to repair something that I did, and because it was my first time and something that I never ever intend to do in my life, but I I end up doing it. So now I need to repair it. I'm gonna, I do some. I'm gonna download a video of this project that I did. Okay, but because I did mistakes, now I have to repair my mistakes. Life is like this. Yes. When you don't know how to do something and you decided, okay, I'm gonna try to do, yeah, you normally do many mistakes before you get the perfection. But the thing is, what you do is too heavy. Like this project that I did is very heavy, so I can't redo it. I can dismount it, everything, and do it again because it's done with cement. So I have to repair it. But next time when I build next one, I know better. That's the story of our life. Our life is like this. It's error and trying again. Error and trying again. And it has been like this from the time you were in the planet. So if you have something perfect today, that means someone was working very hard on it to make it good. Like you have the lights now, and everyone knows the story of Newton, how many bulbs he had to do in order to get the last one right. So I did my first work. Even I have been watching a lot of videos on it. I managed to do a mistake that was very big. Even with all these things that I thought I knew, but actually didn't get right in my head. So now I have to do it to repair what I did that it was not quite right. So I'm gonna sew. If I keep my life busy like this, and challenging my own ability and capability and the strength, I think I'm gonna be alright in my 100. Because I'm planning to live a long life. Okay, I hope now yes, I hope now this will fit there better. Probably I have to take a little from here. So what I'm planning to talk today is us taking advantage of Christmas time. I'm gonna talk about the one that is supposed for us to be commemorating his adventure in Earth, which didn't go very well, but anyway, if someone would look at this as an error or a mistake, Jesus committed a bigger one. Because when he came to earth, this is for another project. When he came to earth, he was planning, well, probably he didn't plan anything. Because when he came to earth, he came. Look, there is different viewpoint on the life of Jesus. For Maria, Jesus would be the Redeemer, okay? And for the disciples, he would be the next king of Israel, okay? Maria, or Miriam in Hebrew, when the angel sorry when the angel came to her, the angel said to her, look, you are going to be pregnant, and the baby that is going to be inside you is being called Emmanuel. That means the one that saved peoples, come to save the people. And he's going to be great, and he's going to be the blessed for the planet. So for Maria, Jesus was a redeemer, okay? Someone that will redeem Israel from all the suffering, all this, you know, the slaveries, all this. So he was the redeemer. And for the disciples, he was the king. He would be sitting on the throne of David for the disciples, okay? So, but for Jesus, he was none of those. He was none of those. You know, he was just the Son of God. That's what he said all the time. I am the Son of God. I am the Son of God. If you follow my steps, you'll be okay. You know what I mean? And which steps were Jesus' steps? The most simple one. And he make it grander when he said to that boy that came to him, that rich young man that comes to him and asks you what the biggest two commandments on the Torah. And Jesus said, love your God and love yourself. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Oh. This was not what the people in Israel wants to listen. They didn't want to hear this. You know, how come I'm gonna love my neighbor if my neighbor is a Roman? And then someone came to him and said, okay, when a Roman soldier force you to go 1 mile carrying his staff on your shoulders, what you should do? And then what Jesus said? Oh God, I love it. He said, okay, you go the first mile because you are obligated to do it, because you are forced to do it. And then go the second mile because you love your neighbor. Oh. No, this was not the message they want to hear. And then you go to the mountain, on the Mount Sermon, the Mount of Preach, when he did that fantastic words that I'm not going to say now because I know I'm going to cry if I say it. But you can go to, you know, to the Google and search for the Mount Sermon of Jesus when he was by the Sea of Galilee, and he was preaching to the people from the, you know, the people from the river, from the villages there. And he said the most wonderful of his speeches. So for Jesus, he was not the Messiah that Israel was waiting for. He was the Messiah, but the Messiah from the soul, for the soul, for the, the Messiah, for the spiritual growth. He was the one that came to tell you, okay, if you do what I'm saying you to do, you're gonna have the kingdom of God. You're gonna be with me later on in this wonderful big, kingdom. That's not just one planet, that is millions of planets. That's when he said, in the house of my father there is many mansions. It's not just one house for everyone, there is millions of houses. So we are now commemorating, the advent of his birth, when Jesus came to this planet, born as a very common person. He was not born in a mansion or in Harrods or in any palace. He was born in a very the most humble place. He was born. He was born where the cattle, the sheep were kept during the night. And he was born there in a small village, because Bethlehem on those days was very small village. It probably did just have one or two roads, no more than two roads. And he was born in there. He was not born in Rome. He was not born in Egypt, in Cairo. He was not born in Jerusalem. He was born in a small village with two roads. And he was not even in a house, in a proper house, or because this house on those days was just one big room where everyone was sleeping in. No, he was born where the animals of the sheep, cattle were kept. So can you see what that means? Can you grasp the word? Do you understand what this man came from and for why he came from? Is to tell us that our life is the most common thing that happens in the planet. We are not different from the cattle. You are not different from the sheep. You are not different from the horses. You are not different from the dogs or the cats. You are the same. You have the same breath of life. Do you think when you breathe your air, what air are you breathing? You are breathing the same air that the dogs breathe, that the cats breathe, that the humans breathe, that cat, every single creature with the, what do you think the virus or the bacteria breathes? The same air that you do, that I do. So when I'm breathing the air that billions of dinosaurs breathe also. When I take the water, when I drink a water, I'm drinking the water that has been drinking by billions of people, billions of animals before me. Do you know how old is the earth? How long ago the dinosaurs were here? 60,005 years. And the air is the same. The water is the same. The earth that you are stepping is the same. Didn't change. So what do you have this thinking that you are too big, that you are too bright, no, you are not. We are not. Jesus was someone that came from the Father, came from the other realms to tell us with his own life with his own bird, with his own humility, and with his life. He was walking this planet with little shoes. He had just one clothes for his body. And now you have, if I open my wardrobe, it's full of things. For what? I have just one body. So yes, that's the message of Jesus. That's the message of Christmas time. Be humble. Be yourself. Be whatever you are. Don't try to be something else. Let's not try to be something big, because you are not. You are the same as the message I was talking when I went to Stratford in my scooter. We are all one. We are the planet itself. Because when we die, even if I'll be incinerated, cremated, or if I am going to be laying down on the earth, what my body's gonna turn? Dust. So me and the earth are the same. You are dust, because my dust now have something different. Have the breath of life that comes from God, comes from from wherever name you can give to this source of life. Just because my molecules now and my metabolism, my atoms now is behaving in another way, doesn't mean I'm not part of the planet. I am. And more bigger yet, we are part of the universe. We came from the stars. We came from the stars. We came from the big explosions. If we study a little geology and astronomy, you're going to understand what I'm saying. We came from big explosions of big suns. And then this big sun created smaller suns, and these smaller suns also exploded, and then to make a smaller sun, that's our sun now. And then you are here. We are daughters and sons of the stars. We belong to the earth, but you belong also to the universe. So that's what Jesus wants to tell us. When he said, in my Father's house there is many mansions, he was saying all of us belongs to the same source. Not because you are on earth now doesn't mean you don't belong to there. We are a big body. A big body. Okay, so let's have a beautiful Christmas. Okay, probably this is my last video before Christmas, or probably last time before. I will probably do another one before the New Year's Eve to wish you all a beautiful, nice 2022. It's not going to be nice. I'm afraid to tell you it's going to be a very hard year, and I'm going to talk about it in my last video of the year, okay? What you can expect from 2022. A lot of challenges, I'm telling you, but you're going to face it. Oh, yes. Come on, 2022, we are ready. Okay, so this is a beautiful time. Let's commemorate it with a good heart. Remember, love thy God with your whole heart, and your neighbor like you love yourself. Bye bye. See you soon.